You think you've got my number figured out? A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the, what is it today? I don't even know. Wednesday, I'm just kidding. It's Thursday, folks. It is Friday Junior. Welcome, everybody. And of course, right as I'm getting started, folks, give me a second. We'll bring ourselves back. All right, there we go. Professional streamer, folks. Welcome, everybody. I hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday. It's just barely the weekend, or rather, the weekend is upon us. John Lithium, welcome. Morbid, welcome. Bondzilla, Derry Bennett, welcome. Heat, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Yes, YouTube chat and Twitch chat you're all one big happy family, okay? You're all one big happy family. That's what's happening here. Yeah, Friday Eve, exactly. Ladybug, welcome. Howdy, howdy. That's right, SCOTUS Voting Rights Act fail. Yep. We briefly talked about that yesterday. Alright, folks, let's get started. Marty, I was already tired yesterday. I was already tired today, yesterday. Does that make sense? I was already tired yesterday, today. US is back to its old apartheid ways that inspired the Mustache Man, Jan Smoot's friend, Danielle Francois, Ian Smith, George Lincoln Rockwell, and David Duke and the like. Yeah, I mean, we've been going down that path for a minute now. Unfortunately. Little by little by little. With each new Supreme Court decision, with each new like passing regular laws, damn, that's tired. Yeah, exactly. Got that sleep? That kind of. No, I mean, like, I don't even know if it's like lack of sleep, because I did get sleep, just probably not the correct amount, I guess, or the correct sleep. Does that make sense? I think it's just because of like work. I think it's because of work. My brain has been cooked. But we're here. I feel you. I owe 2 days of sleep so far. Drink water when you wake up. It helps. Yeah, that's a good tip. The only thing I drink when I wake up is coffee, because that's a requirement. Bad sleep has been going around. Yep, I feel that. Alright, folks, let's try to get started here and just kind of run through this so we can get through this here. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out. If you want to support the channel, check out the links, folks. The stuff and the things, the doodads, right? Have you done that? Have you done the things and the stuff? Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, follow, all the things. If you actually check up there, there's going to be a couple of links. There's actually links in the description if you're on YouTube as well. If you want to support the channel directly, there's many ways of doing so. Check out the ! Merch, ! Tip. and check out my show on this space every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Join the Discord, very important. Aquavite, where's that from? Check the streak message. Hey, solidarity from Berlin International Workers' Day. Is it tomorrow or today? Oh, tomorrow. Yeah. Suchito, thank you for the follow. Oh, I mispronounced that. Suchitoto. Sevens, welcome. Let's get started. I suppose we should start on kind of a meme story, yeah? Let's do that. I kind of went over this, but I like a little bit more. Is it already tomorrow in Europe? Oh wait, maybe. I kind of went over this, but I always appreciate a more in-depth analysis of this fantastic story. It's pronounced Soki Toto. Soki Toto, gotcha. You know that International Workers' Day is in honor of Ukrainian martyrs? No, I did not know.
By necessity, I talk about a lot of depressing topics on this channel. And so I think it's important to take a step back sometimes and recognize big wins when they happen. So with that in mind, today I would like to celebrate the fact that it appears that the satirical newspaper The Onion now officially owns Alex Jones' media empire, InfoWars, and that is awesome and hilarious. Unfortunately, to give the backstory, I am going to have to talk about a lot of depressing sort of stuff, including mass shootings and suicide, but I promise the end is in sight and it is joyous and wonderful. So on December 14th of 2012, a gunman murdered 20 children and 6 educators at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. As noted by many people since, this was the moment that it seemed America decided that we will just not care about gun violence. 20 precious innocent babies gunned down for absolutely no reason, and the U.S. did not have the political will to stop it from happening again. 2 years later, following another mass shooting in California, the Onion satirical newspaper published for the first time an article titled, "No Way to Prevent This Says Only Nation Where This Regularly Happens." I say for the first time because this became a running joke that they reposted, only changing the details like the name of the city 38 more times just up until the end of last year. That, of course, wasn't the first time they had ever delved into politics.
Yes, please, give a like and sub. She's a fantastic content creator, fantastic YouTuber. If you've never seen her channel, I occasionally play her videos. If you've never seen Rebecca Watson, please go support. After Uvalde, the Onion's website was only that article repeated over and over again. Yep. This one is so good. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Satire, and satire is best when it reveals, ridicules, and attacks those in power. In The Onion's first book, Our Dumb Century, published in 1999, they describe an attack on Pearl Harbor as an attack on a colonially occupied U.S. non-state and say Americans should join World War II in order to make the world safe for corporate oligarchy. That theme was mirrored in the rise of a monstrous corporation they described called Global Tetrahedron as a commentary on what they correctly identified as, the rise of corporate control of the United States government. Make a mental note of that corporation's name, Global Tetrahedron, because you're going to hear it again soon. But first, back to Sandy Hook.
Anyone else here to celebrate International Jazz Day? No. But big respect, okay? Big respect to the technique. To the musical technique and requirements to play jazz. Okay, much respect. Old Onion went hard. Yep. I should, since I enjoyed the devil's lettuce so much.
As I discussed in this video from 2019, the years following that mass shooting were horrific for the parents of the murdered children. Longtime conspiracy theorist Alex Jones decided to declare that the shooting never actually happened, that it was all just made up by the deep state in order to push for gun control, a push that obviously never even happened. And so an important part of that conspiracy theory is
they're gonna come over and grab all your guns. What the hell is this? Is this Alex Jones, your favorite president's podcaster? Yes, Mr. President.
That the parents of these dead children must be lying because those kids never even existed. And so Jones not only sent his audience of millions to harass those parents, but he started a cottage industry of other conspiracy theorists like Mike Adams, the health ranger, calling every mass shooting a false flag. Thus, possibly the most horrific, most American tragedy ever became an accepted fact. Children will continue to be gunned down in schools, and the survivors will be harassed and threatened relentlessly for years to come, all just so that a few rich grifters can get even richer. Now, if you've never been targeted by a mob of violent reactionaries, it's kind of hard to describe. You can't use your own social media anymore or open your own emails, but someone needs to, because one of those messages you receive might be a real threat on your life that needs to be forwarded to the police or FBI, who generally will do nothing except make a little file so that they have a good lead when you're murdered later. It's kind of depressing. In the case of the Sandy Hook parents, many of them had to abandon their homes, change their phone numbers, spend time and
it's pretty disgusting. The Axis may have lost the war, but formally, but fascism won it. In the end, it's a dodecahedron.
Money trying to keep their personal information off the internet at all costs. The purpose of that 2019 video I made was to point out that following the mass shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, which left 17 dead, 2 more people died the following year due to suicide, even as Mike Adams, the health ranger, was running Hogwatch, his website targeting the other survivors. And around that same time, tragically, a parent of a child murdered at Sandy Hook also took his own life. Jeremy Richman was a neuroscientist who dealt with the grief of losing his 6-year-old daughter to gun violence by creating a foundation in her name dedicated to researching the brain pathologies that lead to violence. He also joined other parents in launching a defamation lawsuit against Alex Jones, who continued to insist that they were government plants who deserved to be harassed by his audience. Richman's mental health couldn't withstand this onslaught of hatred and death threats and grief, and so he died at the age of just 49. Despite this tragic loss, the families prevailed in their lawsuits against Jones, winning judgments that combined to a record-setting $1.5 billion in 2022.
Yep. I mean, like, how disgusting of a human being do you have to be? Like, honestly, there should be, like, more repercussions, okay? Than just, like, monetary, than just like monetary compensation or whatever. That God knows how long that's going to take for any of that to materialize fully, because like if you're directly like spewing this kind of nonsense, okay, and directly leading to harm, okay, including people unaliving themselves because of the amount of harassment and anguish that you have caused when you attack people like this. I feel like there should be more repercussions other than like monetary. But that's I don't know.
Of course, winning a judgment is never the end, because collecting is a whole new battle. Jones declared bankruptcy, which delayed things even longer, and InfoWars needed to be sold off. Through years of delays, Jones was allowed to continue operating his media empire because if he stopped, it wouldn't be worth anything to anyone. And Jones couldn't just sell InfoWars to anyone for any amount of money because then nothing would prevent him from, say, setting up a shell company and then trying to sell it to that company for peanuts, which is obviously what he tried to do. And so who else would want to buy a brand built upon conspiracy theories about dead children?
Aurelia, welcome. Yes, there should have been criminal charges against Alex. Yeah, 100%. Like, there's like lines to be drawn, right? Like when you're explicitly like making commentary like this to try to direct a significant mob, because like, you know, I'm not saying that like Alex Jones was like like a superstar YouTuber, you know, whatever, but he did command, and to a degree kind of still does, a pretty significant audience, right? And if you decide to use that audience and launch that audience in a harassment campaign against people, and there's direct consequences that are linked to that, I think that there should be criminal charges on top of that. Would absolutely take revolutionary action. U.S. is the country of nerfing consequences for terrible people. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Brandenburg v. Ohio. I gotta check that out.
Well, there truly is only one, and that is Global Tetrahedron. That's right, the evil corporation from our dumb century suddenly was made real by a small group of investors who bought The Onion and put former NBC reporter Ben Collins in charge. Collins, who was friends with someone.
Yeah, this is a good point. Hey, check this out. A state may not forbid speech advocating the use of force or unlawful conduct unless this advocacy is directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action. Huh. There's a thought.
One who was murdered and then declared a false flag by Jones, saw the news about the pending sale of InfoWars and immediately got in touch with the Sandy Hook families to see if they would give their blessing to the satire site taking over the conspiracy theory site. They agreed, and The Onion placed a bid that was better than that of Jones' shell company. Jones didn't back down, of course, sending his rabid fans to harass everyone involved. Collins, obviously, but also the judges and other officials who were involved in finalizing the sale. This dragged on for nearly 2 years.
I'm not gonna give up my power.
But Collins refused to back down, and last week it appears that he finally won, pending one final approval from a judge. The Onion now owns InfoWars. They've hired Tim Heidecker as creative director, and he has gone on the record to say that he's going to make it a hub for comedy by trans comedians. Not only is this fucking awesome, but it actually gets better because all of this has led to Alex Jones experiencing a complete and utter physical and mental breakdown. And graciously, he has allowed us all to witness it happening in real time. For instance, one of the first recent signs that Collins saw to suggest that he was maybe
I need to see this. The ACLU defended a KKK ground wizard in that one. Bizarro world. Yep.
About to win was a month ago when Jones joined Tim Pool's live stream completely wrecked out of his head.
The great Alex Jones.
Oh boy.
Oh,
The great. Who are you? What do you do?
I was thinking about Joe Rogan's vagina.
I was thinking
right
about
now.
Joe Rogan's,
Beforehand.
vagina, because that's apparently how my brain operates. You should buy Alpha Brain. We need to take on the deep state with here, Temple. It's 4 a.m. I haven't slept.
I'm exhausted.
Yes, you sound exhausted.
Well, I love you guys. All I know is this is a real debate. It's a real discussion. And I really appreciate you guys. And I just know that Joe Rogan's giant pussy.
Yeah, and he's drunk AF, yep.
is going to save Earth. Joe Rogan's vagina is like the goddess that will float down and
Do you
heal
think
the Earth.
Media Matters will write this headline?
Of course.
No, this one they're going to avoid.
No, I think we should.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
That's what he's
I don't
thinking
know.
about.
It is not going to work that
He
you are
was
going to...
made obsolete by correction.
Indeed.
Don't follow me at Real Life Shows on X. Infowars.com. We're getting shut down.
I mean, come on. Like, what is the difference between my impression, my voice, and Alex Jones's voice? Okay, what is the difference between?
So many tags, but finally, we're shutting down like the middle of next month.
Wow.
It's gonna be insane what happens. People can,
Drunk again.
Yeah. So
the
this
fake
is
receiverships, the fake auctions, all of it's happening right now.
So
what do you-
last eightfold true.
Dude, you're launching a new thing, or what are you doing?
Yeah, Alex Jones Network. We'll be fine. A giant Joe Rogan pussy. Right up there. We're like,
No.
we're like,
I know it's hard to understand what he's trying to say, but at some point he did announce that it's over for him. And, that's obviously why he's shit-faced, probably in the middle
Bruno, welcome.
of the
Couldn't have
day
happened
on
to a better person.
a live stream being viewed by 250,000 people. Now that we're even closer to the end, Jones is taking off his shirt and screaming on his own show.
What
The Onion has
heck?
stolen the shirt off of Alex Jones's back at this point, and it's
Oh
a
my
sad
God.
thing to see.
This is
Are you an employee of the Onion?
what am I supposed to even I'm actually at a loss for words here. Like, can I what sir? I'm sorry. I don't got it. I'm just gonna let it play.
Onion now, Alex?
no, we laugh about this, but a year and a half ago, they announced that they now owned us.
Yep.
And it was all a fraud. This time they've had a court hearing and they're announcing they own us, which shows with this judge that's been super corrupt, the state judge.
And then of course he's got a hat, I guess, soon for sale that says low IQ. What the hell? I don't know, Looney Tunes. I'm literally at a loss for words. Okay, at a loss for words. I don't. What am I supposed to say? Like, what commentary am I supposed to say to this? what?
It's already done.
I like, look, there's been like we all know like Alex Jones and how wild, but like this is we're going to like the bottom of the barrel, okay? The bottom of the barrel. He's heavily obese. I mean, I wouldn't say like heavily obese, but like I don't even care about that. It's just like, what is he doing? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, what are we? Are you? It's kind of a rhetorical question, but like, are you good, fam? Like, what? Okay. Self-Tanner's got a stock when he comes to town. True. My eyes, all of our eyes, okay? All of our collective eyes, okay? Look, if I had to get like jump scared by Alex Jones shirtless, then we're all gonna go through this together, okay? This is an experience. This is an experience. Okay, we're all experiencing this together, okay?
But don't worry, we got a bunch of legal avenues. It'd be one thing if they just shut us down, but they are telling the New York Times, and I've seen more videos, that they're going to misrepresent
This is my
and put the
second
trailer.
watch. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
They're going to misrepresent that they're us to confuse people and, quote, rip people off like Alex Jones did. We're going to make money. The whole thing's about defaming me. You can't take something over and then act like you're somebody, even if you say it's a parody. You can do a parody of somebody, but none of you took something from them.
Right.
You've already checked with lawyers, so they're in deep shit. I'm already suing the Democrat Party law firms. Already got civil rights lawsuits. So you think, look, just because you're wearing my shirt,
The Democrat Party law firms? What are you talking about? It's way more fun this time.
don't mean you're me. So let's be
You can't see
100%
his
clear about
stomach is in
that.
the way.
And
That's
so you-
true. That's true.
You guys just keep laughing, just like you did a year and a half ago, or it was November 2024.
Mhm.
So is that about a year and a half?
That's sure, dude. Sure.
Yeah, this is a story from December 10th. Sale of Alex Jones' InfoWars to the Onion rejected, and I'll get into this. And
Yeah. So just, but yeah, they need to be us to confuse people. By the way, it's a total failure. He goes, oh, we're the 5th biggest newspapers. That's a lie. Newspapers are all dead. Okay.
I looked it up. The Onion gets less than half of the traffic that InfoWars gets.
And remember, they said they were going to beat Charlie Kirk. Remember when he died? They said we're going to misrepresent fake quotes of him. This is what the left do. They try to silence you, then they misrepresent who you are.
Bro, you were cooked, man. You lost $1 billion lawsuit because you decided to attack the families of a horrible school shooting. Okay? This has nothing to do with the left TM, okay? The left TM didn't tell you to be a disgusting, horrible piece of garbage and unleash all of this anguish on the families who just lost children in a school shooting. Okay? Who lost their children in a school shooting. I watched this on my own yesterday. God bless, because this would have been an experience, okay? If I would have just been sitting there by myself and just like watching random YouTube videos and I decided like, oh, that's cool, a new Rebecca Watson video, and then like this popped up, that would have been, oh boy. Does he have the same spray tan as Donnie? Yep. The rogue state of Israel continues to get away with everything. The flotilla was attacked in international waters again. Yikes. Yikes.
Body snatchers. They're
Body
skin
snatchers.
walkers. They literally take your skin. This is going to backfire big time, folks. Anyways, but hey, you may have may try to take our skin. You may try to take our clothes, but we're still the real InfoWar. And everybody's going to understand that the InfoWar is a generic term. A website doesn't matter. Everybody's an InfoWarrior. Don't let them convince you of this. It's going to blow up big time in their face.
Did you see the Ben Collins video where he says we're in an information war?
No.
Yeah, it's an old video where he was doing it at the National Press Club, and he says, we're in an information war right now, and the truth is hard to find. They've lost the information war, and so they've resorted to lawfare.
Why do races like spray tan so much? That's a good question. That needs to be investigated. There needs to be an investigation on this. On how much like of a common theme it is between racism and like ridiculous, absurd spray tans, okay? Alex Jones, unfortunately, yes. If you're just like tuning in and this is like what you're seeing, I apologize. It's always the one you don't want to take their shirts off.
And then take it on our skin.
Yeah.
Just because you got a man's coat don't mean you're them.
No, it's ridiculous. And again, yeah, they just do it.
Forget.
They get away with it.
The Paul Weiss law firm ran all this. Trump settled with them. They settled, and now Trump's on their side.
Yep.
So, hey, feel good, guys. You're on Trump's side. You said it was so bad.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly it. They are literally on the bad guy's side.
Is this guy like? I don't know how this guy is like keeping composure, because like, holy crap. I don't think I could handle that. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I could handle a shirtless Alex Jones like looming over me, talking about how he's being like taken over by skinwalkers or whatever he's talking about, because he decided to be a piece of garbage and you know, do the things that he did. Have you seen old Morgan Jones on interview on CNN? No. That's ridiculous.
It's gonna fail.
Wait, we don't own the all.
And here is
That's not what's happening in your studio right now.
possibly my favorite part. Jones is playing clips of Tim and Eric.
Imagine that being your job. Please, God, no. Alex Jones destroyed Morgan. It's about gun control. I don't think Alex Jones can destroy anybody about anyone. Other than I guess like screaming. I guess like screaming, sure, but that doesn't mean you get destroyed. Like on the arguments, like look, Morgan is in actual fear of being punched. That's not being destroyed. That's Alex just being a bully because he's unhinged. That doesn't mean anything to me.
claiming that they're proof that satanic pedophiles have destroyed his empire.
It's all about
Jeffrey.
filth.
Bella.
This is the Onion. This is who runs it. This is who thinks they're taking over. Will they win?
Come here.
It's up to you.
There we are, full circle. For a very long time, Alex Jones and his cronies were so over the top ridiculous that many of us watched and enjoyed them, like the way it used to be fun to read about the adventures of Batboy in the Weekly World News. There was even a healthy debate on whether Jones really believed what he was saying or if the whole thing was just satire. That was unfortunately proved to not be the case, but here we are now. Satire has won over hatred and violence.
Thank God.
I really believed and still believe in that idea that Sandy Hook proved that the US would never take gun violence and misinformation and right-wing extremism seriously. You know, our politicians really have utterly failed us. But the Onion fighting this fight and winning should give us all hope and inspiration. There are many ways to fight back that don't include just voting. That is something
I thought
to
Legally Jones said all of it was made up and no sane person would believe it. I think he tried, but like obviously it didn't work because it was BS and nonsense and like, I mean, like it's obviously nonsense. He lost 1 point something billion dollars. Alex Jones losing his shit over this is hilarious. True. Alex Jones is sick after having his shirt off in the studio. Why can't he keep his damn shirt off? Because we stole it off his back. Okay, the radical left stole Alex Jones's shirt off his back. Soul Life, welcome. 2 days in a row, YouTube showed me the short stream instead of the normal stream, just an FYI. Yeah, you can like shout at YouTube. Go yell at YouTube.
celebrate. If you
Yeah, European countries are doing just the same thing and not taking right-wing extremism seriously too. Also, incidentally, that was also the Tucker Carlson excuse as well. Hard to say, seemed no, it's not really hard to say. It's what legally happened. Like, that's why he lost the judgment. That's why he lost the case. It's not hard to say. He's on the hook for 1 point something billion dollars. That's not, you know, there's nothing, it isn't really like debatable, right? Like that's the judgment that was brought out against him because of all his nonsense. You feel he really believes. It's not what I feel. It's what they found in the case. I don't give a shit if he deeply believes or doesn't believe. The evidence that was presented in court. Oh, I'm asking what you feel. I don't know. I think he's crazy. I can't really like, you know, get into his mind. I know he's unhinged. He's pretty unhinged. So yeah, it's clear that he's not well. Why the F is YouTube recommending shorts with regular videos instead of the shorts? Germany does take it seriously, but U.S. diplomatic pressure has prevented Verwashenden shoots from taking action. Something about protection, right? Something about protection? Word protection? There's enough evidence. Melania was an escort. I believe so. She was also like heavily involved with like Epstein and whatnot. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's how they met.
want to show your support for The Onion, they are offering a year-long subscription for $99. They ship for free around the world. And if you're in the United States, you'll now get a special edition Rainbow InfoWars tote bag, which is hilarious. Plus a nice certificate you can print out and display on your wall. Congrats to all of the Sandy Hook families and everyone at The Onion for this huge, incredible win.
Nice. Oh, Constitution protection. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. I know shoots is protection. Or defense or whatever. Nice. Hey, folks. Please, if you haven't ever seen a Rebecca Watson video, please go show some support. I will just as he did the link last time, I'll just put a link to this video if you want to go support and show some love to this channel. Gotcha. Shoots equals protection. Gotcha. Like it. That's true. Bing. MAGA's just Scientology for Republicans. Since Germany lacks a proper constitution that was imposed by the US after World War II. Link I can't share here. It's okay. Twitch also doesn't have links. All right, folks. Let's I guess we do the things and the stuff, right?
Caroline Leavitt, who incidentally said right before the White House Correspondents' Dinner that there will be shots fired. Obviously, very violent rhetoric.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I just
what you know?
Rage.
Was she calling for Trump to shoot the media?
The deep state.
No, I don't know. We haven't heard anything. I just like it's scared.
Did you see about young people doing TikTok speedruns through Scientology buildings in the church, claiming it's a hate crime? I've seen mentions of that. Like, I've never actually sat down and like taken like a look at these videos of people like running through Scientology buildings to see how far they can get. I vaguely remember seeing that, but calling it a hate crime is nah. What? That's funny. Stuff and things, Carl. The Reichsberg Loons say the post-World War II Constitution basic law is invalid.
And that's part of the reason why I didn't go. Our YouTube people are you going to cover this? And I'm like, shots being fired.
You heard what Leavitt said?
Right. Yes, Caroline Leavitt already let the cat out of the bag. But let's hear what she says.
Maybe she meant filler shots.
About violent rhetoric.
These are despicable statements that the American people have been consuming for years. And so many mentally perturbed individuals are led to believe these words are true and then are inspired to act on it.
So basically, okay, so I think like the main point, and I'll continue to hammer this point down ad nauseum over and over and over again, that it is incredibly absurd and rich that all of a sudden, the right understands stochastic terrorism, right? All of a sudden, the right wing understands. It's like by magic, right? By like alchemy, that the right wing understands the relationship between advocating for something and then like something happening, right? Like if you rabble rouse your supporters to do something based on whatever, then it could potentially be a problem. Obviously, this is disingenuous. I'm being semi-facetious. Because they don't offer they when it comes to the other side, right? When it comes to the other side, like all of a sudden, like, oh, these are just words. Oh, you heard a slur on the internet. Wow, it's not a big deal. Oh, somebody like threatened you on Facebook. Oh, well, that's just like whatever. Just log off, man. If somebody threatens you, then just block them, dude. Like, okay. If a million sub channel sends their audience against you, like that didn't happen. But all of a sudden, when the president, Daddy Trump, all of a sudden people are making jokes about him, then that is inspiring violence, and now we have to tone down the rhetoric, and the words of the radical left are inspiring perturbed individuals, yada yada. Like all of a sudden we understand what stochastic terrorism means. Latex drew a welcome. They dropped the free speech absolutism and whine about how comedians can't say anything. Also, they moved the goalposts. Yep. I'll be firing Caroline Leavitt for promoting violence. Shooting is like saying there was a plane hijacking when the guy tried to run through security and got caught, not even close to an assassination attempt. Right. I mean, like, the actual, like, facts on the ground, you know what I mean? Like, it was... Obviously, it was, like, a serious event, right? Whether it was staged or whatever it is that you... it was a serious event. It just, like, the president, nor his cabinet, nor the vice president was in any danger at any point. Not really. But anyways, the point being is like the astounding, like, you know, switch that these people play all the time is absurd. And they do it all the time, every time, without fail, okay? They will be disgusting ghouls, okay? They will be disgusting ghouls dancing on people's graves, making fun, making memes about citizens, people, right? Their fellow people, okay? Like Alex Preddy. They'll make memes and laugh and mock people like Renee Good, Alex Preddy. Oh, but if you make a joke about Charlie Kirk, we carry the flame. If you make a joke about Daddy Trump, you can't do that. You know, they're making jokes about me and I don't like it. I said, stop. Yeah, she did say shots will be fired. Yep. Welcome, Christy. Daddy Trump. Bill, gotta sketch that visual out of my paint. Look, that's what they refer to him as, okay? That's what they refer to him as. They also constantly shrug at gun violence in school, but have a million speech-focused solutions when it suits them. Yep. Yeah, people not like us. They sold their human souls for 30 pieces of silver. Yep. Or rather, a plastic statue of Trump and a hot dog and a fake Bible. And a fake Bible. They not like us. Yeah, no, I actually agree. They are people. They're the worst of us. They're the worst of us. You were cooking. I tried to clip it, but it didn't work. It's all good. You can always go back and do that. Under the jail. Bad Lefty, welcome. There's a tax to rich protest in New York right now. Nice.
I have a whole host of examples that we can share with you after. It is pages and pages of major Democrat Party elected officials saying, such as Rep. Hakeem Jeffries just this April, this month, said, we are in an era of maximum warfare everywhere all the time. Governor Josh Shapiro said,
oh, wow. We're in an era of maximum warfare. Hakeem Jeffries, everybody. Okay? Hakeem Jeffries, everybody. Inspiring stochastic terrorism. Okay? Hakeem Jeffries inspiring stochastic terrorism with the words, we are in open warfare. Meanwhile, the president of the United States can go on stage, incite actual violence, like literally tell people to assault people, okay? And that he would foot the bills. He would foot the legal bills. Remember that in the 2015 primary? In the 2015 primary? Yeah, when he would be on his rallies and say like, oh, you know, beat the hell out of them, right? Like, back in our day, they used to leave out on stretchers. Yeah, remember those words? What about those, huh? What about those? What about the words that inspired the January 6th insurrection? How they're stealing our country and that we have to fight like hell. That's an actual quote. Fight like hell. If you could eat any billionaire, who would it be? None, because I don't eat like disgusting ghouls. But Elon Musk would be at the top of the list. Maximum Warfare sounds like a video game RTS style. The 80s, yeah, Elon Musk. That would be like the numero uno guy that needs like that would need like explicit expropriation, property expropriation, wealth expropriation like yesterday. The 80s were way more open warfare. The move bombing like actual domestic war. Yeah, George Soros, I can finally pick up my check. True, dude. True. George Soros probably owes me so much back pay, it's not even funny. Yeah, exactly. That's another great quote. Immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country. There's an invasion, okay? They're bringing drugs. They're bringing a crime. I mean, like, what are you talking about? Like, who, like, you can't say that with, like, a straight face, okay? Like, get out of here talking about Hakeem Jeffries making a statement about open maximum warfare or whatever.
To roll within the administration. Senator Alex Padilla said people.
Yeah, when Josh Shapiro says heads need to roll, he's talking about administrative change, okay? Like, we all know that, right? Like, none of these have inspired any acts of violence whatsoever.
People are, quote, dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration.
That's just a fact, actually. Like, that's not even stochastic terrorism. He's just like, that's just a fact. Like, people are dying because of the Trump administration policies. Yes, that's just a fact. That isn't even like a call to action or anything like that. Is George Soros even in the top 300? I don't know. He's like, I know he's like a billionaire, but like, obviously nowhere near like Elon Musk. He's like, I don't know, a couple billion, which is still too much, but you know, whatever. They also normalized threatening entire civilizations, bombing schools, exploding speedboats with, no due process, while whining about private citizens saying words. Yep. Oh, look, it's the daily or weekly pedophile defender, right? It's the weekly pedophile defender that continues to come back. Go ahead and mute me so you can make accusations without needing to prove anything, then trash talk after I can't respond. Coward. Okay. I mean, I've already presented evidence that you're a pedophile defender because you support Trump. Unless you don't support Trump, then I can recant those words. If you don't support Trump and you didn't vote for Trump, then you are not a pedophile defender. But if your argument, if I remember correctly, because you come in here to say the same thing, that Trump isn't a pedophile, then by default you're a pedophile defender. So these aren't accusations. When exactly have I defended a pedo exactly? If I remember correctly, weren't you one of the Trump people that came through the channel? Epstein victims never empathized with by the administration. They only cry about the most powerful people being called bad names. Yep. I think we can all agree America has been normalizing violence since always. Yep. I'm not sure where the millionaire lines fall. I don't know. I know that George Soros is worth a couple billion. But anyways. I never said he wasn't. I asked for proof. Oh, I gave you proof. Like, literally, we watched a video of him describing his infant toddler in a very disgusting and sexual way. We also saw a video of him pointing to a 10-year-old saying that he would be dating her in 10 years. That's pretty fucking pedophile predator behavior. There's also the Epstein files, which again, I pointed to, where there's been several victims who've named Donald Trump. In the Epstein files, which incidentally, the Epstein files, just to be clear, the Epstein files are the evidence of a case. Yes, the infant, literally, she was 1 year old. This is in 1996. We literally watched a tape. We watched a video of him on cable, on television, talking about his infant daughter. What are you talking about? Trump actually raped Eugene Carell? Yeah, but we're talking about, like, I made the specific accusation of him being a pedophile, and he doesn't believe that. So that's by definition being a pedophile defender after giving all this evidence. It's on the Epstein files! You know what I mean? It's on video, it's on the Epstein files. So anyways, where I was going with that is the Epstein files are all the evidence in a case that was built against Jeffrey Epstein for child trafficking, right? In order for you to prove that there was child trafficking, you have to be able to prove who he was trafficking those people to, those children to, right? People like Donald Trump. Would you call a pedophile liar, pedophile defender the same way? Just wondering, what does that have to do with anything? No, a lawyer is a lawyer. A criminal defense lawyer is a criminal defense lawyer. I'm talking about a random person trying to make the argument that Trump, or like making the absurd case that like, oh, well, you haven't proven that Trump isn't a pedophile. I need proof. Bro, I gave you proof. So by default, you are a pedophile defender, because it's you can look this up. You don't have to believe anything that I say. Actually, gosh, it's ought to be okay. Yeah, no, get out of here. Get out of here. Bye bye. That's not how we do things here. The only lawyer PDF defenders are in the DOJ. Ask yourself, if someone came to you and said your mate's name, your best friend's name was in the Epstein file 38,000 times, wouldn't you cut them off for your life? 100%. There's no child trafficking. Nobody was charged with child trafficking. What are you even talking about? What do you mean? Jeffrey Epstein was convicted for child trafficking. What are you talking about? Trump administration found a lot of craft children that were victim of Biden's open borders. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. God damn, do I just like trigger a bunch of like MAGA morons when I like call their daddy a pedophile because he's a pedophile? Holy crap. Do all you MAGA like weirdos, like do all you MAGA like pedophile defenders just come out of the woodwork when I actually name Donald Trump as a pedophile because it's true? Jesus. You should make their arguments via text because they can't read. Donald Trump signed an executive order to release all the Epstein files. That's why Pam Bondi was fired. Donald Trump only signed that because the Epstein files had a veto-proof majority. It was going to be released. He fought so hard to make sure that those files never got out. He fought so hard. Republicans fought so hard for those files. Maybe he needs to say alleged. Nope, it's in the files. There's no alleging here. All of it is in the files. The case documents in the files. We're not alleging anything. So that's why he signed it. That's why he signed it. And also, like, when I make the claim that Donald Trump was talking about his infant daughter like that, his little 1-year-old daughter, that's on video. There's no alleging that. That's literally, you can go to the 1996 interview. It's not alleged. There's no alleging anything. It's all there.
1 second.
Senator,
Pause it for 1 second. I just have a couple of things to just clarify. Shapiro said heads got to roll. Is that literally an option? Are we doing the guillotine again, or what is going on?
No, this is just dishonest. Okay, this is dishonest because again, when the right when you stop showering with your daughter, you effing leftist pedophile bastard. Oh, you're talking about Trump? You're probably talking about Trump. What about Bam Bam? Who's Bam Bam? What, Clinton a frequent flyer to Epstein Island? Yeah, fuck Clinton too. What are you talking about? I'm talking about Trump. Man, all of you getting so defensive. All of you pedophile defenders are getting so defensive. Saying and proving anything are two different things, no matter the name you call out. I don't know what you're talking about. It's all in the Epstein files. Lock these losers so we kick them. Jew-occupied government. Trump's government? Get out of here, you fucking Nazi. Bye. Trump never went to Epstein Island. Yeah, he did. Ignore that comment. Don't worry. I just banned the Nazis. Yeah. Sometimes I think these bots are well, I mean, it's hard to tell because they really do talk like that. A lot of these like Trump supporters, like, they just can't handle, they're just a cult. So it does feel like they're kind of bots because they all talk like this. Because they're all getting the same exact talking points. Not sure if it's better or worse that they're bots. Like, yeah, I don't know either. Man, but they get super triggered. They get super triggered when you start talking like about Trump being a pedophile, because he is. He's literally in the Epstein files. Bunch of snowflakes. Yeah, they can't stand, like, the problem is, like, the reason why they're getting all so defensive and doing like whataboutisms and like, oh, you have to prove that he's a pedophile. I have. It's literally in the Epstein files. It's literally on video. Okay? He's literally talking about like his daughters, you know, bodies and whatnot. It's really gross. But it's like the reason why is because, like, the reason why all you freaks who are in chat, the reason why you freaks are in chat getting all triggered is because looking in the mirror is tough. Looking in the mirror and seeing that you guys are actually the monsters. You guys are actually the pedophile defenders. You guys are actually the fascist defenders. You guys are actually the authoritarians. You guys are actually the anti-free speech people. You guys are the actually anti-democracy people. It's hard, you know, because it can't be you, right? I can't be a monster. I can't be a monster, but you guys are. All of you in chat. I'm so glad that you decided to come in here. But all of you guys are the monsters, okay? All of you guys are the monsters. So, yeah. I know it's tough, and I know you have to do whataboutisms, and what about Bill Clinton? What about Bill Clinton? Oh my God, stop talking about my daddy. Yeah, fuck Bill Clinton. What are you talking about? Donald Trump is the greatest president ever? No, he's not. He's a pedophile. Look, another pedophile defender. Another pedophile defender.
French Revolution.
Well, Josh Shapiro would say that the people who had their heads removed by the guillotine did it to themselves.
Sometimes people defend this stuff because they also do it. Oh, probably. Probably too.
Besides, so.
Yeah, they continue.
Of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration. Senator Elizabeth Warren, President Trump is making the country look like a, quote, fascist state. Senator Adam Schiff.
That's just a fact. That's just a fact. That isn't like calling for any action. That's just a fact.
Saying President Trump.
I've yet to figure out. Yeah, where's the 5K Doge check? That's a good point. Yeah, Clinton can go to the same hole. They can share the same cell. I don't give a fuck. I've yet to figure out how to deal with people who deny reality. Like, what do you do with that? You move on despite them. You move on despite them. What evidence has been provided that Trump is a pedophile? I already told you, it's in the Epstein files. You're the one, you must be the one who is obsessed with the pedophile. I'm not in a Trump cult. Again, I know it's difficult. I know you want to do whataboutisms and go, but, like, look in the mirror, okay? Because the monsters are you. You are the monsters. You are the pedophile defenders. I know it's difficult looking in the mirror. But it's you.
A dictator playbook. Senator Ed Markey calling President Trump a dictator, saying that this administration's actions are...
That's just facts. Trump is a dictator.
Authoritarianism on steroids.
It is. Those are just facts.
Governor J.B. Pritzker, never before in my life have I called for mass protest disruptions. These Republicans cannot...
Mass protests are absolutely protected under the First Amendment right.
Not know a moment of peace. You have Rep. Presley saying, "We'll see you in the streets." Rep. Monica McIver, a Democrat representative.
Well, statistically speaking, even most of them are just going to be rank and file, not even taking home the plunder for the monsters who they're doing their work for. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, they're the ones, because, like, which doesn't make it better, but it does make it more pathetic and irrational. Yeah, I mean, like, my argument, or what I'm trying to present to these freaks that are here in chat, is that, like, I understand, okay? I understand why they need to talk about, you know, anything but Trump being a pedophile, because it makes them pedophile defenders, and that's kind of tough, you know, to look in the mirror, right? Like looking at your reflection, and seeing what you've supported, right? All the things that you have done, right? It's kind of tough, right? Like on a subconscious level, it's kind of tough. But I'm here to give you a reality check. It's you. You're renting a YouTube channel. You have the right to say whatever you want. Freedom of speech. Respect the host if you don't agree. No one is holding you hostage here. Don't worry. It's my channel. It's my house. I can move or leave people as I want. What concrete evidence do you have that Trump is a pedophile? I've said this like 10,000 times. Are you people deaf? I've said this 10,000 times. Are you people deaf? He's in the Epstein files. He's named in the Epstein files. There's several victims that have named Donald Trump as them raping them, as him being the rapist. What are you talking about? It's in the, if you want to actually like look into the Epstein files and see what the 13 and 14-year-old described, the victims have described, then like that's it's pretty concrete to me. Led by the nose for the benefit of a plutocratic elite. Yep. I've said this like 10,000 times. Why is this an argument?
On Capitol Hill, we will not take this shit from Donald Trump. He thinks he's a dictator. We are at war.
Yep.
These are Democrat elected
victims here. Yep. And again, the thing is, ground level news. Again, I'll repeat again. It's this self-defense mechanism. Yeah, Trump is mentioned in the Epstein files more than Jesus. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult. Your body, your mind makes a psychological defense mechanism. Because what you're doing is disgusting, and it can't be you, but it is. It's all of you. It's all of you. All of you. You are pedophile defenders. Okay. You are disgusting fascists. You are disgusting fascist enablers. Chumming water for a billionaire who doesn't give a flying fuck about you. I wonder how much they were paid. Who knows? But anyways, that's enough about that. Hey, whenever all you Trumper morons that are still here, look in the mirror, okay? The monsters are you. Take a good look in the mirror. Introspection, okay? Introspection, okay? I've let this show go on far enough. That's it.
officials calling for war against the president of the United
it's
States.
Democratic.
Who are you
state.
talking to? Oh, all the Trump morons who decided to crash the party. Yeah, denial is the easy, lazy path. Yep. Because, I mean, like... Right, when confronted with the reality of being grossly wrong. Because, I mean, like... Let's be honest. If somebody came across to you... I mean, like, obviously, we're, like, rational people. We're rational people. So, if somebody told me that I was enabling fascism or enabling this horrible, like, dystopic system, I would have some introspection and go, holy crap, what did I do? What did I do? You know what I mean? Like, if I was enabling a pedophile fascist, I would be horrified, because I would be looking in the mirror and seeing someone who did something so horrible and inflicted so much pain on my fellow human beings. But these people can't, because it's a problem, you know, when it comes to actually looking in the mirror. Yeah, they've alienated almost all their friends and family. Most likely, once you isolate yourself like that, it's near impossible to admit yourself it was all for nothing. Yep, that's true too. If Obama had been an effective president instead of a liberal activist, the idea of a Trump presidency would still be a Simpsons joke. Obama made Trump. Obama was the biggest sales flop in U.S. history. I mean, like, I don't know what the angle is, but I do think, and I do agree, and I do agree that Obama's failures as, doing the whole hope and change thing, absolutely led to a fascist takeover, because eventually that's what happens. Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at. Honestly, what do you gain in defending someone like this? Do you think he gives a fuck about any of you? Wake up. Yeah, of course they don't. But they don't care. None of these clowns care at all. None of these clowns care. To accept Trump is not who to accept Trump is not who you thought makes you see the whole world questionably, including yourself, and some can't. Yep. When a communist says fascism, they mean capitalism? No. Capitalism is an economic system. Fascism is an ideology. Try again.
Officials, Democrat was actually a term developed by the ethically and follically challenged Frank, what's his last name?
Luntz.
Frank Luntz.
Sorry.
When he was doing work for Newt Gingrich back in 95, they came up with the word Democrat because it reminds people of a rat.
Democrat. That's why they're always emphasizing
exactly.
it. Yeah.
And that's why they do that. I like how far they got with what the violent rhetoric was down to, like, you should get out there and vote like you mean it. We can't allow people to say this. If only this is clearly such a one-sided dynamic, of course. Unfortunately for Caroline Levitt, she works for Donald Trump, and Zeteo apparently has a mechanism in which you can...
Yeah, sure, Obama was terrible. I can agree Obama was terrible, and his policies didn't really fix any fundamental problems. But yeah, fascism is state-dictated capitalism to me. No, it's a bit more than that. No, fascism operates. The only reason fascism comes to fascism is an ideology. Yeah, fascism is an ideology. The only reason fascism decides to show up is because capitalism, which is an economic system, is starting to break down to the point where someone like Trump decides to come out of the woodwork. But yeah, state-directed capitalism is socialism. Nope. Not at all. Socialism is not necessarily state-directed capitalism. Socialism is is an economic system where the workers own the means of production, not the state. Different things. Again, try again. It's always funny that right-wingers think leftists love Obama, and then you get enough understanding of politics and you make clear of Obama and Trump. You just don't get the satisfaction of them being whining on a team. Yep. Socialism is not at all capitalism. Correct. Nice Sam screen screen freeze. Yep. Welcome, Wolfglen. Yeah, no, socialism not at all capitalism. That's perfect. That should be an emote. Yeah, no. State-directed capitalism is not socialism. 11 viewers can't be wrong. That's a logical fallacy. It could be 1 million people saying the same thing. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Try again.
Put together video clips and show us what Donald Trump has said in the past. You be the judge.
They are indeed the enemy from within, but this is who we're fighting. We will root out The communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country.
The Democrats are sick. There's something wrong. They're like terrorists.
The ultra-left-wing liars, losers, creeps, perverts, and freaks who are
This is why you can't take these crocodile tears seriously.
devouring the future of this state like a swarm of locusts.
This is why we can't take these people seriously, okay? When the right gets out there and starts crying about violence or whatever, like, they can go unequivocally go F themselves. They can unequivocally go F themselves.
The left, the Marxists, the anarchists, the agitators, the looters. Members of Congress and even former presidents have been openly embracing vile creeds such as socialism, Marxism, and straight-up communism. In New York, they're trying to elect a communist, Zoran Mamdani. We are going to defeat a communist known as Kamala Harris.
Oh, please.
Most radical left person ever to run for office. This is
Someone's pretty damn scared calling us names. Are we living rent-free in Trump's head? I only loot in video games.
This is Marxist, this is fascist. Have you heard her laugh? That is the laugh of a crazy person. That is the laugh of a crazy. It's the laugh of a lunatic. Have you heard? Kamala is mentally impaired.
Mentally impaired, you know, not like me. Not like me, you know, I'm perfect.
Became mentally impaired. Kamala was born that way. Ilhan Omar, who her brother became her husband. We keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. We'll stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi, who ruined San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anything about the right. What's making Ron make sure everyone has at least minimum level things of needed to live? Yeah, it's a problem for the capital class. Maybe Don should start drinking. I don't know if that would be an improvement or if he already does. Melania!
How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know? A crazy, horrible human being, Nancy Pelosi, who cheats like hell. She's a crooked person. She's a bad person. Evil. She's an evil, sick, crazy. Oh, no.
What the hell? What is this? This is your guy? Jesus, couldn't be
Such
me.
restraint.
It starts with a
What
B,
did he
but I
mouth?
won't.
A thing, okay? He mouthed a thing. Okay. So much projection.
Say it. I want to say it. I call him pencil neck. He's got the smallest neck I've ever seen. He's got about a 4. And he's got the biggest head. So I don't know how the neck can hold the head. He's an unattractive guy, both inside and out. Okay, I mean,
Yeah, talk about projection. Jesus Christ.
Just, you can go on for hours.
I want to say it.
How's your husband doing who was attacked by a crazy person with a hammer?
In your home. I mean, that is one thing I do respect about Pelosi. She just doesn't even
Early in his
engage.
first term, Don seemed funny. Remember the days? Nah, I don't think he was ever funny. Like, that's the thing though. Like, during the first, like, during like the first term, like, people thought that this guy was like a freak show, like a clown, right? Like a clown who was just like funny or like or I don't know, like an oddity, right? Like something to like look at, like a circus. But like, no, the guy was dangerous from day one. He's our guy. Of course he is. Of course he is. Pedophile defender. Look at that. Hey, welcome another pedophile defender. Woo! Yeah, say it loud and proud. I love defending pedophiles. Loud and proud, dude. It's amazing. I would say it could definitely be state dependent on what you mean by a state. If you mean an actual democracy, sure. But the point is ultimately, regardless of what you label it, equal democratic ownership and control of the totality of the states means productions. Yep. He's unintentionally funny. Like he makes you laugh, but not in the way he intended to. Ben Chilling, welcome. It's kind of funny when he fell and then lied about it. I like that. You're a pedophile? No, I don't know. I've never solicited from a 13-year-old, like Donald Trump. No, I don't think I've ever looked at a 10-year-old and said that I would be dating her in 10 years. Don't think I've ever said that. Don't think I've ever had a daughter and talked about her, you know. No.
In the like, oh, the Mr. President stuff. She's like, I'm over this crap.
Also, the Padilla thing where he said it's people dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration, that was about an immigration raid in Ventura County, which led to the death of a migrant farm worker.
No, we can't accurately identify the deaths and damage caused by the Trump administration without it being called an incitement to violence by pointing out their violence.
Being descriptive is terrorism.
It is just absolutely fascinating how you forget like just how far this guy has gone in terms of this rhetoric, and it is stunning to see that they still try.
Yeah, actually, I like that, Sassy. I don't think I was ever Donald Trump.
And I the only thing I can tell you is that at least nobody in the media seems to fall for it. Dana Bash tried, and at least Jamie Raskin was like, what are you talking about?
He just said, can you be specific? And she couldn't.
No. Well, you know, like, he's bad for the country and, you know, so on.
You know.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the
Yeah, I've
subscribe.
never owned a teen pageant, then bragged about how you can just walk in and, on them changing because you own the pageant. Yeah, yeah. That's true. Trans for everyone, true. Everyone. Everyone should be trans. That's right. Trans for everybody. Based. This will be quick. Of course, Senate Republicans block effort to halt Trump's war in Iran. The Republican-led Senate on Thursday today again blocked a Democratic attempt to stop Trump's war in Iran, rejecting a war powers resolution. The same usual suspects, 47 to 50, with, of course, Canfin, a Fetterman, opposing it. It was the sixth time this year the Democrats have forced a vote on a war powers resolution. Yeah, gender, canceled. Trans, everybody. So that's about it. They tried to do a war powers resolution, and Republicans, along with John Fetterman, knocked it down. Hotel? I don't know what that means. Oh, the ad. Hotel Trivago. Record law and Department of Homeland Security shutdown ends. So it has ended. President Trump, who had urged lawmakers to pass the bill, signed the measure into law today, funding DHS agencies such as FEMA, the Coast Guard, and TSA, and the Secret Service. The bill does not provide funding for ICE and Border Patrol. Fetterman is the smartest Democrat in that party. No, not really. He's pretty disgusting. But is this another pedophile defender? Oh, is this another pedophile Republican? What do you think should be the goals for humans? To be good people. Theo was weird with the notion of not being trans enough, with the implication that work should be done to make trans people more trans. It was the strangest accidental pro-trans thing ever. Do you think we should spread life in the universe? No. We can't no. Can you imagine? Look, we're already destroying, like, planet. I don't think, no. All good things has to come to an end. That is America economy. I don't know what that means. Sure, whatever. I mean, after we take care of the planet? No. I think we should try to build a base on Mars and the moon to start. Nah. Y'all clan Nazi Democrats hate Fetterman because he's smarter than y'all. No, I'm independent. No, you're not. You're a freaking pedophile defender. Get out of here. Nazi Democrats. Nazi Democrats. Okay. I'm independent, by the way. Why are you anti-space exploration? Because we suck. It feels like Fetterman. Oh, hello, Quasi-Peck. I don't think, I don't think I've said hello. Are you anti-natalist? No, I'm anti, like, humans, like, exploring other places because we've already destroyed, we're destroying this planet. Trying to think about space exploration is like, I don't know. We're nowhere near. We're nowhere near. It feels like Fetterman is trying to figure out a way to make me regret my pragmatic. As bad as Fetterman is, has probably better than Dr. Oz position. It's crazy how in the pocket of Republicans he's gotten, probably because of Zionism. Do you think we should let humanity die and go extinct because we're so bad? That's on us. Maybe we should, like, not destroy the planet. Maybe we should not destroy the planet, then we wouldn't go extinct, right? Like, I don't know. It seems like a pretty simple concept. Does anyone want to tell me at the party alignment? I'm not going to go over history that should be known at this point. That so-called independent moron in chat should know about the history, and so if they don't, then they're just being dishonest. But anyways, we're moving and grooving. We're moving and grooving. The House and Senate also passed a short term to prevent a key foreign spying program known as FISA Section 702 from expiring Thursday. Members of both parties said it would be devastating for national security if authorization for that program expired. So yeah, bipartisan agreement for the expanded FISA foreign spy program or whatever. That's where you get the bipartisanism. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. The left doesn't have any more children. That's also on the right. They're going to continue. The only population that's increasing. That. What does that mean? Can you, like, make a point? I don't get what that was about. Yeah, members of both parties. Yep. Congress agreed to a 45-day extension for FISA before departing for a week-long recess. Must be nice. Democrats had forced a DHS showdown, yada yada yada. So yeah, anyways, the point being is, the deep state. This is such bullshit. This is such bullshit. Bipartisanship for the surveillance state. It's fantastic. The Republicans, who never stop thinking of children, are mysteriously all legalizing child marriage in their states. Yep. That's a big Republican thing, by the way. Only Republicans have I ever seen take up the issue of child marriage, by the way. Nadia is 100% correct. I've only seen the Republican Party make a really big, like, a deal about, like, child marriage. I'm not even, like, joking or over-exaggerating. The only times I've ever seen bills for child marriage are, like, Republicans. Oh. You know, I mean... When I call you all pedophile defenders, I'm not being, like, facetious or over-exaggerating. You know what I mean? Or maybe some of you are pedophiles yourselves. I don't know. because it couldn't be me. I couldn't be this defensive over like a billionaire oligarch who's a pedophile. It couldn't be me. The Trump administration released a report on Thursday today criticizing former, maybe too much talk of PDF talk for one day. You know what? I agree. I freaking agree. Thank you. You know what? You're right. That's enough. That's enough talk for like the rest of next week, okay? That's enough talk for like the rest of next week. Seriously. Since we're almost already done anyways. The Trump administration released a report criticizing former President Biden for alleged anti-Christian bias. The report accused Biden's education department of focusing its enforcement action against Christian universities, but it did not mention Trump's ties to these schools or that some of these efforts started during the first administration. Ooh, that's kind of convenient, right? Yeah, too bad he's the commander-in-chief. That's true. I think Wisconsin Republicans fought like hell to stop the age of consent from being raised to 16 just a few years ago. Yep, and in other states too, local Republican governments. Yeah. Happy talk means talking about topics or news. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel that. We've overindulged on this way too much. Yeah, Biden, famously Catholic, anti-Christian, by the way. Besides the connection between fascists and spray tan, can we do another with Republicans and pedophiles? We need these studies. Oh, it's a 1-to-1. No studies necessary. The Biden administration also allegedly failed to address parental concerns over school curriculum and programming and enforce definitions of gender identity, sexual identity under Title IX, the federal law that prohibits sex discrimination that conflicted with the Christian beliefs. Trans for everybody! Education Secretary Linda McMahon bashed the Biden administration, saying that in a statement it's abused its authority by unfairly punishing Christian families and schools. Whatever. Every American deserves equal treatment under the law, but we continue to discover the magnitude of Biden's gross iniquities and flagrant violations of religious liberty, particularly targeting Christians. Okay. Spokesperson for Biden declined to comment, but Catherine Lamone, former Assistant of Education Secretary for Civil Rights under Biden, told Politico there was no animus involved in the administration's development of its Title IX regulations. I can guarantee there's no religious discrimination that operated to infect any of our investigations. Yeah, so they're just big mad because like they ended up wanting to be discriminatory themselves. Because like, by the way, just to make sure like the argument is clear, inclusion of people is not the same as discriminatory against a group, okay? Does that make sense? You expanding inclusivity, right, is not the same as you excluding or being discriminatory. Religious liberty in school? Yeah. I'm worn out from insulting and roasting the hell out of Trump supporters. Bots as Trump. I should be given a round of applause. Sure. I think we all deserve it. Look, it's Thursday, so today we just decided to have some fun with all these freaks coming in. But yeah, that was whew. Yeah. That was my bad for indulging it a bit longer than I intended to, but okay. Anyway, yeah, conceded me? Nah. Couldn't be me. Liberty University was slapped with a $14 million fine by the Biden administration for its treatment against sexual assault survivors and its failure to disclose information about crimes or near campus between. Yeah, so this is what they're talking about when they're complaining about like being anti-Christian. When they're complaining about being anti-Christian, this is what they're talking about. Are we starting to see a theme? Are we starting to see a theme here? Religion has no place in schools. Yep. How is left best? Because we just are. Just kidding, I've been here before. You can check the do your civic duty for the week. Seriously. Actually, like... Look. This was just for content, okay? This was just... Look, this was just for content, okay? It's not something that we do often, but sometimes we gotta farm the content, okay? All these little like ghouls. Just to be clear, that doesn't mean I didn't mean anything that I said. I was very serious because there's very serious evidence to point to the accusations that I was talking about. But it's because like I don't actually like respect or I'm just tired of these people, and I'm not here to like have like actual like real one-to-one arguments. I'm just gonna call them what they are and be done with it. But hey, they kept typing in chat, so you know you gotta get those numbers up, right? You gotta get those numbers up. Just kidding, I've been here before. Oh hey, welcome back. The identity violation, agent verification rubbish, CB avalanche of mythos, copyright and licensing, laundering via AI and other computer stuff is happening. Yep. I think the biggest flaw of the left is laziness and self-doubt. I don't think so. Maybe self-doubt because the left tends to be more introspective. Yeah, doing it for the gram, exactly. The left tends to be more introspective. In the set, like the self-doubt, in my opinion, I'm gonna twist that around and say like it's more introspective, so we're constantly going back and forth saying, is this right, is that right, like I don't know, and you know that kind of tends to make that illusion. Yeah, I completely disagree about the laziness part. That's not a thing, okay? Anyone can be lazy, including people on the right, left, or whatever. All ideologies, there's people that are lazy. But the left may have this illusion of self-doubt is because we're always questioning shit, including ourselves. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. The struggle against religion is a struggle for socialism. Tankies poison the left too. Possibly, depending on who you think a tanky is. If you're talking about like reactionary people, then yeah. Why are right-wing people having so many children? Because they're propagandized. But anyways, yeah, introspection, yeah, that's a good thing. So that may cause the illusion of self-doubt, but I can assure you, no. Overall non-Republicans, that doesn't mean the left. That's not the left. The left is very specific. I was quoting Stalin's head of Union of Militant Atheists. Haha. Everyone's tend to keep an eye closed and to have prejudice in their bias. Yep. I see it as a self-improvement and growth. Yep, right, submits to authority a lot easier. Yeah, because they're inherently authoritarian. Like, you want to know what fascism is? Okay, I saw this in a Majority Report chat. You know, you want to know what fascism is? It's just like state-imposed daddy issues. Prove me wrong. As we saw, how many people came out of the woodwork? How many people came out of the woodwork? Anyone to the left of Vosh is a tanky. True. The report argues that Christian universities face much harsher penalties than in the high-profile case of Michigan State University Nassar, who's convicted of sexually assaulting athletes, and Pennsylvania State football coach Jerry Sandusky's conviction. Michigan received a $4.5 million fine, while Pennsylvania was fined $2.4 million. The fine over Nassar was determined by the first Trump administration, so yeah, he was the one going easy on the convicted offender. Do you guys ever get tired of being crybaby victims? Crybaby victims. Alright, baby. No, I'm not. I'm confused. I'm not understanding. So yeah, it was the Trump administration who was going easy on these predators. The report also highlights enforcement action against Grand Canyon University, including Biden administration's $37 million fine for against the school. Biden administration officials sued the institution for allegedly deceiving prospective doctoral students about the costs and course requirements for its doctoral programs and about the school's nonprofit status. So again, this is what they're talking about with anti-Christian bias, okay? Fraud. There's your anti-Christian perspective right here. There's your anti-Christian perspective. Are they incapable of looking up the years when stuff happened? Because they can't read. Former Education Secretary Betsy DeVos denied the university's request to convert from a for-profit institution to a nonprofit, arguing at the time the school is too financially entangled with a publicly traded corporation, the Grand Canyon Education. The department's rejection at the time was unusual, as it had generally been more permissive about approving for-profit colleges' requests to convert to nonprofits. For-profit colleges were subject to tougher regulatory requirements to receive aid than nonprofits. Ultimately, the Trump administration recognized the university as a nonprofit last year. The Education Department dismissed the fine, and the FTC officials tossed out the consumer protection lawsuit that Biden had lodged. So anyways, that is the anti-Christian biases that have been happening. What is a V video? They're talking about Voosh. Vouch. Betsy DeVos's brother is Eric Prince of Blackwater war crime fame. Yep. The report also took an aim at Biden administration's 2024 Title IX regulation, which sought to boost discrimination protections against LGBTQ plus students. Biden's effort to codify new protection, who's Vosh, the only real liberal that's left. Christianity is a fraud. Yes. This Christianity? Yeah. Biden's definition of sex discrimination was vacated by a federal court, and the Trump administration is expected to launch a new rulemaking to formally make Biden regulations to take the Biden regulation off books. Anyways, so yeah, like this is what being anti-Christian means, right? Like expanding protections for LGBTQ people, anti-Christian, being taking universities to task. Got a dip. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah. Had to fact check your claim that Republicans are trying to lower the age of consent. I believe the claim is baseless. In fact, there is bipartisan support to raise the age of consent in marriage. Nope. Anytime, my claim or my statement was that anytime I've seen anything regarding child marriage, every time it's always Republicans pro. So, Bonzilla, thank you for the subscription. So, yeah. Excuse me, sir. I counter your argument with a pretend well-researched Nuh-uh. Yep. If a person is a capitalist, is there any property that this person could have that would make the person left-wing? If not, then why should we call that person left-wing instead of a capitalist? Yeah, so what are you talking about? Because, like, there's a difference between private property and personal property. If this is a real capitalist, like a capitalist, like an owner, then no, they wouldn't be a leftist by definition. They would be an owner. They wouldn't be, like, the divide is class, right? They would be owner and capital. There would be the capital class and the working class. I mean, property in the ownership sense, I mean, descriptive property of the entity. I don't know. There's nothing that a capitalist could, if you are an owner, right? You're just a capital class. Like you can, I guess you can pretend, right? Because again, we're talking about ideology versus like economic systems, right? Like, I guess you can pretend, right? You can pretend to like espouse like left-wing or Marxist ideology, but at the end of the day, like, you know, if you're talking about what's real on the ground, you're a capitalist, right? You're the owner. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Being left-wing by definition means that you would be going explicitly against your class interest. So you would be explicitly advocating for the expropriation of your wealth, and you would be explicitly in favor of having like maybe your employees be the owners of your means of production, so you wouldn't exist essentially, right? You would just be integrated with your employees. You would all own this firm, right? If you are born left-wing, are you against your class or for it? That has nothing to do with it. You can be poor, right? And left-wing, meaning if you're working class, then because like again, being poor and being left-wing are two different things. You're talking about economic versus an ideology, right? If you're poor, you're just poor. You could be a far-right poor person, but in an economic descriptor, you'd be working class from a leftist perspective, right? If you're poor and you're actively gargling the boots of oligarchs, like some of these folks who come in here do, then you would be against your class. You'd be against your class interests. Now, if you could be, let's say, wealthy, but also you could own your own means of production, right? You'd still be operating under like a left-wing economic system. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope you're picking up what I'm throwing down. Quasi-Pack with the 1,000 biddies. Thank you so much. Look at that, and a little hype train, level 2 hype train popping off. Right, Bernie Sanders making $2 million off his book does not make him a capitalist. Right. Right. You know what would make the capitalist? The person that owns and produces and those books, right? Like the firm that owns and produces those books, that those would be like the capitalist class, right? Like he would be kind of like in the worker category, right? The publisher. There you go. That's I'm speaking, but yeah, like he would be, the divide would be like the publisher who owns all the rights and producing mechanism versus like the person who wrote the book, presumably, right? Anyways, it is past 7 o'clock. It's time for me to get out of here. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out. Thank you. Sorry. thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out. We'll be back on Monday at around 5 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you all for being here. Boo! I know, it's over. I know. Listen, I went above and beyond today, okay? I'm owed overtime, okay? Overtime, Soul Life. That means you gotta, like, I don't know, subscribe like 10 times. You better run. Oh my god. How's that different from a Democrat trying their best to push for the left while still earning money in the capitalist word? Earning money doesn't make you left or right. You can't work Friday because the left is lazy and wants everything for free. True. Capitalism has become socialist. That doesn't make any sense. That's fundamentally like nonsense. That is gobbledygook. Anyways, thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Michael Hassler, for modding the chat. Thank you, Ladybug, for modding the chat. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you for your support. You guys are what makes this channel go. Thank you for the subscriptions and the biddies and all that. And if you enjoyed the content, okay, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button or follow button here. Yeah, social capitalism. There you go. It is the weekend, basically, so enjoy, folks. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Monday. Thank you all for being here. See ya! Whew. Y'all really pushed me through the ringer today, huh? Mr. Beast curing the blind is social capitalism? No. Mr. Beast is the first socialist? No, he's not. Negative. Mr. Beast is not a socialist at all. Alright, folks. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.